Namaste, my friend, my friends. I hope that you're doing well. Today I don't have very much to say, at least not now, so I will remain silent for a couple of minutes and just play some music before we begin the healing session for today. And the healing session today is focused on awakening, opening, healing the heart, to awaken self-love, to bring you back to that innocent space where you can express yourself authentically, fully, without fear, to heal yourself from past trauma, past hurts, broken heart, to open up yourself to all the relationships in your life and to mend those on your part so that you can reconnect not just to yourself but to other people as well. Hello, Anna. Nice to have you here. So today the focus is on the heart, and as always, during the healing session, there's nothing that you need to do. But today I really want you to keep your hands on your heart. Breathe slowly through the whole healing and set the intention to really open up. There might be lots of emotions coming out. There might be anger, there might be fear, there might be sadness. Just allow that to flow to and from you, in and out, in whatever way, rhythm, pace that it needs to. Try not to shy away from really embodying and really feeling these feelings. See if you can follow these feelings to their origin without becoming unconscious, without contracting, and we will see where this healing goes. Also feel free to write in the chat, say hello. It would be lovely to hear some hear some highs from you guys. Also, if you have any questions now or after the healing, just write them in the chat or in the comment section below and I will respond to them. Or if you want to share your experiences, you can do that. And finally, before we get going, if there's any special music that you like to listen to, then you can prepare that now. Sometimes I feel that, well, actually every time I do healing, I feel it's very beneficial to have some music in the background, especially when working with the heart, because it can really help me to come into this very sensitive, to increase my sensitivity in some ways, emotionally at least, to open up a little bit and bring some momentum into the past. So make yourself comfortable. You can sit or you can lie down. What's important is that you're comfortable. So make yourself comfortable. If you can, be in a room that is quiet, calm. Hello, Pratush. Thanks for tuning in and sharing. Okay. So get in position, settle down, settle in. And I would like you to put your hands on your heart. And with every breath, start breathing a little bit slower, a little bit deeper. Focus on expanding your heart. So every time you breathe in, you feel that the heart is expanding. Feel that your whole body, your whole energy is getting centered in and around your heart. And before I begin the healing, you can set an intention. Just ask to open your heart to be free and to allow any densities, any trauma, any negative energies, stuck energies to open up and to release. Feel that in your heart and then let go. And then we will get going. And keep your hands on your heart for the remainder of the healing session. I'll now turn off my microphone and you can listen to your own music. Enjoy. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Take a couple of deep breaths. Start to come back into your body, into the room, at your own pace. If the Reiki energy is still working intensely on you and you feel guided to do so, please stay in your experience. Put your hands together in front of your heart and say thank you to yourself for being here, for putting yourself first in your well-being, your healing. Thank the Reiki energy, your guide, and the angels who helped us in this session. I thank the Divine Mother, God, whatever you want to call it, for letting you experience life and for putting you on a path that is leading to truth, to love, to everything. I'm grateful that you joined me here today, that you joined all of us, that we held space here together and dared to open our hearts in this time, which is very intense for all of us. That you prioritize your own healing is not selfish in any way, but you're helping the world, all of humanity, and all of life to move forward, to bring more light into this world, to bring us back into balance, to compassion, love. I would like to ask you to bring this love to someone else today or tomorrow or during the week that's starting tomorrow. To do something nice unconditionally for someone else, selflessly, to bring a little bit more light in dire times when everyone needs to see the light a little bit more. Awaken the courage within you to be yourself and to shine this light on someone else. Even if it's someone who mistreats you, find a way to bring that light to that person. There's a lot of anger, there's a lot of fear going on currently. So I just want to ask you to stay strong, stay in your heart, and don't get too swept away with neither fear nor anger nor ignorance. Don't ignore what's happening. Don't try to shy away from the reality of what's going on, but stay present in your own being, in your own heart, and be aware that the intensity that is going on is for your and everyone's greatest good. Thank you for being here. I enjoyed this a lot. I hope that you did too. For those of you who have not joined my healing sessions before, welcome. Remember to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell, because every Sunday around this time I do a free healing, and in the future I will do several more healings throughout the week as well on other times. I'm thinking about starting doing it in the morning European time, meaning around 6 or 7 o'clock here in Lithuania, which will be around 5 or 6 Central European time. So if you want to join this healing every week and receive free Reiki healing, then you're very welcome to join this little community. If you wish to do so, you can share your experience in the live chat to your right or in the comment section below. And yeah, it's nice for me to see what you experienced and just to hear from you. And if you are leaving soon, then I wish you a wonderful ending of this week and a great start of the next one. I will be staying for a couple of more minutes to respond to any message that might appear, and just to let the energy settle and integrate before I go to bed. Good night, Riet or Reet, Rose. I'm sorry if I demolished your name. Never saw that name before. It's really nice. And Rose is really nice. Pratouche, good to hear. Calm and relaxed. Could we ask for more? Because I don't, I don't think that many of us feel very relaxed or calm. Ever since the beginning of this year, it's been a very intense one. A lot of things has been going on, especially on the inside, I believe. Hello, Richard. I hear you, Richard, and I'm grateful that you're here, and you're really strong. You're really strong to show up here every week and doing the work that needs to be done. The work which is really no work, but the releasing of all the work that you've already done, to let go of all the baggage and everything that you've collected throughout your life, and perhaps, for all I know, all the lives before that. So I would only ask you to keep coming here and do your best and listen to all the advice or suggestions I've given you before, and see how that's reflected in you. Trust yourself. I'm not here as a healer healing you. I'm only here to hold space so that you awaken the healer in yourself. I'm not doing any healing. I'm just holding the space for you guys. And that's really important for you, Richard. You must find this trust within yourself So this heart healing is really good for you. Watch this again if you can, and the other videos that I have on love, self-love, acceptance, the heart, the other Reiki videos that I've uploaded. Focus on finding that trust for yourself and in your process, in your life. However dark life might seem at times, it's always bringing us into resolution. Some things we just have to live through. And if that's because of karma, what's happened in past lives and what we accumulated over several lifetimes, I can't respond, I can't answer that. But if we dare to hold on and really trust that we will get through whatever challenge that life that throws our way, we will keep evolving, and we will uncover a little bit more of our true selves. This unimaginable love. So just hang in there. You are supported. Rose Preet from India. Very nice to have you here. So you're also a Reiki healer. That's very nice. Well, let's see here. I'm gonna have to do this in order. Part 2 said, I never felt any negative emotions during your Reiki healing. Could that mean something? Of course it can mean something. But I believe that you put the meaning on yourself on this. And the meaning of things, I would say, is less important than the actual experience of it itself. A lot of the time we want to put, all of the time we want to put meaning to everything and understand everything from here, but the experience of what's going on is much more important. So if you can just rest in that you're experiencing something, and just be in that unhindered by the mind, then that can bring you into something so much deeper. But I want to address this about feeling horrible, or what Reiki can bring out. In my experience, Reiki, just as meditation, is not just about the love and light and the happiness and joy. It's not just about bringing you into bliss. Eventually, that might be the let's say, it might become more prevalent, more apparent over time, and the periods of bliss might come more often. But to get there, most of us have to clean out a lot of trash that we have. So yes, Reiki can bring you into this horrible feeling. It can bring up these. If you're carrying a lot of emotional trauma, which I did, especially around the heart area, I was carrying, and I'm still carrying, a lot of sadness, and that can come out. So healing, during the healing session, after the healing session, for days or weeks afterward, you can actually feel a little bit bad or emotionally unstable. But it's the same process that life brings you. Things are happening, you feel bad for a little while, and then you feel better again. It's all for the better. It's all to let go of this which we have accumulated and identified with. So do not get attached to what's going on. If you're having a difficult experience, be as brave as you can and experience that. But try not to let the mind go haywire and attach to this, to what you're experiencing, whether it's good or bad. Nice to hear that, Fong, about your heart clearing for many days but can't find one. So this is great. You received what you asked for today with this heart healing. I believe I have 2 or 3 other healing videos on my channel and the various playlists I've created there with healing, that is focused on the heart, on self-love, on love. So if you want, you can watch those. Very good, Richard. I'm here too. Stay with yourself, stay in your heart, and trust yourself. Yes, Reiki always works, even though sometimes it might not seem like it's working. But it's the same with meditation. We're working on very subtle levels sometimes, and you might not be aware of what is going on, but there's always some effect. Everything has an effect. Good night, Reed Rose, or Rose Preet, Rose Preet from India. Sleep well, and I hope to see you next week. Namaste. So Fong, in my experience, coming back to the childlike joy and innocence that we felt when we were younger, at least most of us who were lucky enough to experience a sweet and loving childhood. And if you never experienced that, you can come to that and experience that as well. That's the true purpose of life, I believe, to be that open and innocent to every and all of life, every experience and all of life. To do that, this is one of the paths. There are so many paths, but essentially, life itself brings you back to that. Life wants to bring you back to this. Why we strayed away from being this innocent and loving and happy and joyful is because, in my idea, because we were not developed enough, we were not aware enough of our own presence, of our own energy and our own power, but most of all, not our own identity. So when the mind starts to develop and we have a lot of intense wills and stimulation and stresses of the world, we get ripped apart, in metaphorically speaking, pulled away from our core, and the path back to that innocence is then picking up these pieces again and seeing what we really are through meditation, through healing, dancing, through life itself. And to get there, I believe one of the highest, if not the highest, practice we can do is surrender, to learn how to surrender to what is going on right here and right now without resisting. Because with that, we are healing the heart and we are opening it up again. So by learning how to surrender, to really be with the experience, even if we have a really, really tough time, even if we're suffering for a whole year, and things never seem to change, to just be able to sit in that. Because the more we learn to surrender into it and accept what is going on, the more our heart opens and the more this love starts to pour out again. And the strange truth is that what's going on in your external world does not have that much of an impact when you begin to awaken your heart. I hope that answered your question, Fong. If you want to follow up, then please ask again. Sometimes I get a little bit carried away in my head and I just keep talking about. To summarize, really surrender, love, become devoted to yourself and your own process, your own life, and to all of life by doing that. Trust and accept. I don't really know what you mean by that, becoming severely ill, but you're awaken your power, Richard. So if you want, you can clarify. Partouche, I absolutely agree with you. When it comes to money, it can be a little bit tricky sometimes because you, as with everything else, you have to find this balance where you feel that you have a boundary, you have something that feels good for you, but also for the other person who you're giving a service to. So you're gonna have to test, trial and error a little bit there, just to find a point where you feel okay with the price that you're putting on your services. Hello, Arena. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. It's very nice to have you here. Yes, the universe guides us. We're guiding ourselves, essentially, because we are this universe. There's nothing out there which you are not. So a part of you is guiding you to wherever you need to be. And this goes together with what I was talking about before about really trusting your experience here and now, because you're not having any experience that is, wasted. There's nothing coming your way that is a waste. Everything that you're experiencing and everything that you ever will experience is there for you to evolve through it. That's why we say that problems will keep coming to you until you have learned what they mean. Or if there's something that you're really attached to, it will keep being pulled away from you until you see that you keep getting yourself in this situation, that you're so identified with having this object or having this experience, for example. It will keep being pulled away from you. So, Richard, about your experience there, um, as I've said to you before, it's important to have contact with your doctor if you're having a lot of physical symptoms, or if, a psychiatrist if you're having a lot of mental or emotional difficulties. Always consult your physician first. But I've done a lot of plant medicine retreats some years ago. I did ayahuasca, San Pedro, and these plant medicines and the culture that surrounds them, the culture that South American shamanic cultures, they're talking about something called La Purga, or the purge, where you are cleansing your body, for example, or cleansing your emotional body, your mental body from negative or dense energies. And during plant medicine retreats or plant medicine ceremonies, for example, it's very, very common that you throw up. And sometimes you throw up quite a lot. So it might not be at all a bad sign, but quite on the contrary, as something very positive. Because a lot of the time, with the diet that we're eating nowadays, even when we try to buy pretty good food, we can get a lot of crappy ingredients or crappy substances in our bodies. And sometimes the only way for the body to get that out is to throw it up, or sweat it out, or get really sick at times for the lymph system to be able to excrete all of this trash that we've been accumulating. So I want to emphasize this again, that feeling bad after a Reiki session, even if it goes on for days, or a meditation session, just a single one, it might be that you hit a really dense dense blockage in yourself, and that you, through this healing, manage to dissolve it. And for this to really release from your body, if it's in your physical body, then it has to go somewhere, right? And it's a very good way for the body. It's one of the most powerful ways, if not the most powerful one, to throw it up again, or throw it up, or excrete it in some other way. Thank you, Cece. Thank you so much for being here. Pratouche, yes, absolutely. Reiki can be channeled to the future, even to the past. It's as far as I know, it's unlimited. So you can send it into the future if you're traveling somewhere. So Reiki is very powerful for those intentions. But even if you're not specifically using Reiki, you can just set your intention. This is what people talking about the law of attraction and this stuff, focusing on the positive. If you imagine something positive and you're not attached to the outcome, then it's much more likely that that will happen. If you go on a journey and you feel safe, you feel confident, you will have a much better experience than if you're going on a journey and you feel unsafe and you feel scared and inconfident. Okay, Fong, let me see. I have to remember your question. Yeah, okay, so watch watch my response again. I don't really remember what I said. But I can summarize it again. To come back to the feeling of being a child, not being a child, but having this childlike innocence, being so open and loving that every experience is accepted. You can be yourself fully without any fear. Of course, there might be a little bit of fear coming up every now and then, but you're innocent to life. That is the path that we're all on, I believe. As soon as we start to become a little bit more aware, what some people might call a spiritual awakening, for some people it happened very quickly, suddenly they start to wake up, and for some people it might happen a little bit more slowly. That's when we start to become conscious of this process of returning back to our hearts, to become more aware. And then what happens beyond that, I cannot answer for. But just being here, just being present, is coming back to this childlike innocence. And you don't need any practices. You don't need to read any books or anything for that. You only have to be with your experience, what's happening right here and right now. Okay, so I want to thank you again, everyone who was here, and for everyone who was engaging here in the chat. I'm very grateful. If you enjoyed this, please put a thumbs up to this video, share it with someone who you think might need to see it, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the little bell notification to receive a notification every time I start a live stream, which is always, at least always on Sundays around this time. Yeah. Thank you so much. Sending you lots of love. Stay strong, stay in your heart, and smile a little bit. Namaste.